Hey guys, it's been a minute. I just finished up my semester in college and I just want to make this quick rant style video so I can just have something to get out before I make my actual video on the new Punisher special that oh boy, I got some words for it. Collecting. Everyone loves collecting, right? I mean, you get into a hobby, you start having a good time, and then just somebody buys the most expensive thing ever and absolutely destroys the market that you were just getting into. And now everybody is rushing to buy these things and scalp them online on eBay for an inflated market price that's just going to crash in the next 3 weeks. I mean, hey, they're not even doing this for the money. They're just doing this for the love of the game, bro. Now, collecting in and of itself isn't really a bad thing, right? I mean, it's a hobby. Everybody has a hobby, right? I like to collect old video games on the PS2 and PS1, but I actually play those games, right? Instead of just having them sit and collect dust on my shelf. Obviously, I still have some in my backlog, but that's besides the point. But when collecting becomes a problem is when you are not able to easily gain access to the things that you want to gain from, right? When the market becomes so overinflated that the product that you want to buy is now like 5 times more than it initially is. Like personally, me, I like to collect video games for its original hardware, and I like playing it on its original hardware because it just feels better for me. I have a PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, so I might as well just buy those games for those consoles. But with the speculator market, it's become almost impossible to get into this hobby now because of just how expensive things are getting. Like, if you want to get into the Silent Hill series, it's gonna cost you $1,000, right? People are always looking for the next Kuon, next Ruler Rose, like whatever it may be, and they're always gonna drop a pretty penny and scalp it and flip it just so you have to pay more for it. And that's horrible because video games are an experience, right? Everybody should be able to experience a video game, right? But some of these series haven't been re-released onto newer hardware and are only accessible through this older generation of hardware. Granted, that's just the retro game market, and I personally think that's the most frustrating market to collect for. And I've seen Pokemon, right? I've seen how bad that gets, right? But video games are much more different. They're an experience, they're not just a piece of paper. I feel like anytime I was able to purchase something or have the ability to get into a hobby, it's always been at the worst time. Like when 2021, I was 14, I just got my first job and I was now able to make my own purchases. So I wanted to buy a bunch more video games that I personally wanted to play. But this was at the time when video games stopped becoming $60 and started becoming $70, and the retro game market was steadily climbing up to what it is now. And this is something I fear that is going to happen to another hobby that I've been into for a while, and that's like comic books, manga, and anime. I like reading these things. They're pretty fun and pretty enjoyable. But seeing Logan Paul buy the first chapter of One Piece and Dragon Ball Z that appears in a Shonen Jump volume is a little heartbreaking because he's doing the same thing that he did to Pokemon to this form of media. And this isn't the first time that this has happened. Like, there has been a speculator market revival in the 90s when Marvel and DC tried to like relaunch a bunch of their series, their long running series with a new number one, so it can bank off of like the collectors and the speculator market. But people realized that there were so many variant covers and so many new number ones that these comic books were going to go down in price, so they just stopped buying comic books, which led to a bunch of small businesses shutting down and which led to Marvel filing for bankruptcy back then. And once again, it works in like the first couple of years. Like, X-Men number 1 became the highest selling comic book of all time with 8 million copies sold, but this comic is worth like $2 because everybody has it. And also with variant covers, it makes collecting like really, really annoying, right? Because if you just want everything to line up like perfectly and you just have that one cover that doesn't fit in with the other ones, like come on, guys, what are we doing? And I think to myself, eventually at one point, we're going to smarten up, right? The market's going to crash, we're going to stop collecting, and everything's just going to go back to normal. But no, no, it's not. Right? You want to know why? Because there are people out there who scalp McFarlane figures, right? There are people, real human beings, by the way, who go out of their way to drop $100 on a McFarlane figure. At the end of the day, these are all really calculated moves. Jeremy Padawar and Logan Paul buying these things are all orchestrated by them because Jeremy Padawar is a businessman. He's the president of Jazzwares, who used to make those little Sonic toys that I had as a little kid that are now like $400. And guys like these do not care about the fans or the product that they are entering into. They only care about the short-term success and not the long-term. They're going to get away with their money after the market crashes, and they're going to disappear forever from the hobby. This also bleeds into another form of media that Logan Paul is a part of, and that's the WWE. The fact that Logan Paul gets more screen time than Chad Gable, Finn Balor, and Drew McIntyre is absolutely insane. Guys that have put in 20 plus years into the business and who are actual wrestlers do not get as much screen time as a guy who does rug pulls. And I don't care how good he is or how naturally athletic he is. This dude hasn't lived it. He hasn't wrestled in the little bingo halls, the gym halls, right? Fighting for every single scrap like these other guys. It's just unfair. And I think Kenny Omega said it best.
I've said it before. I don't know if I've ever said it publicly or not, but like, I mean, I think we're headed on a path where it's like, you know, a couple of WrestleManias down the road, the main event's going to be Logan Paul versus Mr. Beast, and it's like, what is their wrestling acumen? You know, how many miles have they put into it? You know, it's like,
Right? And this is a direct correlation to what is happening right now. There are going to be people that have nothing to do with your hobby or your personal interest. They're going to be entering in it and they're going to be ruining it. Yo, before this video ends, I actually want to give a shout out to the Whatnot users, lamest dudes on the face of the earth. Like, how can you guys be mad that the card that you put up for auction for like $1 only reaches like 10? Oh, but it's like $400 PSA graded 10, and they like take it out of the box and like start ripping it up. Like, dude, like that's your fault, bro. Like the guy won the auction fair and square. Like, get out of here. Anyways, that's the video, guys. Stay halal, and I'll see you next week, inshallah.